Hola! Today we're going to talk about boot verbs, or stem changing verbs as they're actually called in grammar. But we call them boot verbs because if you notice the way that they're conjugated, there are 5 forms that we call them inside the boot, and that's where the changes happen. And the nosotros form, which is outside of the boot, does not have a stem change. The first verb is cerrar, and it's going to be an E to an IE stem change. Cerrar means to close. A lot of times when you look up a verb in the dictionary, you will see that if it's a stem changing verb, in parentheses, the dictionary also will notate E to IE. When you conjugate the verb cerrar, the stem is going to change along with the ending. So the ending changes as a normal verb. It's an AR verb. But if you notice, everything inside the boot, the yo form, the tu form, the form for él, ella, and usted, and the form for ellos and ustedes, also have a stem change. In the stem, the E was changed to an IE. So you have cierro, cierras, cierra, cerramos, cierran. Take time to stop the video along the way so that you can copy these verbs down and begin to learn how to conjugate these correctly. The next verb on your list should be comenzar. Comenzar means to begin or to start. This is linked to the word in English commence, which also means to begin or start. Comenzar changes the E to an IE in all of the 5 forms that are inside the boot. Comienzo, comienzas, comienza, comenzamos. So the nosotros form does not have a stem change. Comienzan, to begin or to start. Empezar also means to begin or to start, and it's a stem changing verb as well. If you notice, it's the next to the last E that changes this from an E to an IE. So it's not the first E, but the middle one that changes from an E to an IE. So you have empiezo, empiezas, empieza, empezamos, and empiezan. Entender means to understand. Entender is also an E to an IE stem change. And again, the stem change happens in the second to the last syllable, so it's the middle E that stem changes. Entiendo, entiendes, entiende, entendemos, entienden. And remember that this is an ER verb, so you're using ER verb endings. You have to do both the stem change and the ending change as well. Perder means to lose. It's also an E to an IE stem changing verb. Pierdo, pierdes, pierde, perdemos, pierden. So the nosotros form does not change the stem. It remains just an E. Pensar means to think. It's related to our English word pensive, which means to be thoughtful. It's a stem changing verb, so its forms are pienso, piensas, piensa, pensamos, and piensan. Keep in mind that this is an AR verb, so the AR endings need to be used for this one. Querer means to want. It's an E to IE stem changing verb. So you have quiero, quieres, quiere, queremos, and quieren. Decir is an E to an I stem changing verb. It means to say. It's related to English words such as diction or dictate, and you'll see that more when we conjugate it. Digo, dices, dice, decimos, and dicen. This one is also a go verb, which means for the yo form, instead of just changing it to an O, you add go to the end. Digo. Repetir means to repeat. and it's related to our English word repeat. Remember, it's the middle vowel, the middle E, that's going to change to an I. So you have repito, repites, repite, repetimos with an E in the nosotros form, and repiten in the ellos and ustedes form. Seguir means to follow or continue. It's an E to an I stem change, so the E in the first syllable changes to an I in 5 of the forms: sigo, sigues, sigue, seguimos, and siguen. Notice that in the yo form, you didn't keep the U. That's because that would change the sound, and they want to keep the sound of a hard G, so it drops the U, and you would just spell it sigo so that you would pronounce it sigo. Contar means to count or to tell. It's related to the English word account or to count. Contar is an O to a UE stem changing verb. It's also AR, so remember that you need to use AR endings along with the stem change. So you have cuento, cuentas, cuenta, contamos, cuentan. Dormir means to sleep. Dormir is related to English words like dormant and dormitory. I think you'll recognize that. Dormir is an O to UE stem changing verb. So you have duermo, duermes, duerme, dormimos, duermen. Remember that this is an IR verb, so that you have to change in the nosotros form. You don't have the stem change, but the nosotros ending is IMOS, dormimos. Devolver means to return, as in to return something. It's related actually to our English word revolve. It's an O to UE stem change, and it's the O that's in the middle that's going to stem change. So you will have devuelvo, devuelves, devuelve, devolvemos, no stem change there, devuelven. Encontrar means to find. It's related to our English word encounter. That's easy to see. It's an O to UE stem change. Encuentro, encuentras, encuentra, encontramos, encuentran. And don't forget that it's an AR verb, so use AR verb endings. Mostrar means to show, and it's actually related to our word demonstrate. It has the same root. Demonstrate is actually to show something, so they are related words. Mostrar is an O to UE stem changing verb. Muestro, muestras, muestra, mostramos, no stem change, and muestran. Poder means to be able or can. It's actually related to our English word potent, to be strong. Poder, to be able to do something. Poder is an O to UE stem changing verb. So you have puedo, puedes, puede, podemos, pueden. Recordar means to remember, and it's related to our English word record. When you remember something, you record it, right? You try to record it in your brain. Recordar is an O to UE stem changing verb. Recuerdo, recuerdas, recuerda, recordamos, recuerdan. Jugar means to play, and jugar is actually a U to UE stem changing verb because the first syllable has a U in it. So you get juego, juegas, juega, jugamos, and juegan. Pedir means to ask for or to order, and you probably used this in the unit with the restaurant as well. It's an E to an I stem changer. It actually is related to our word in English, petition, to ask for something. So the E changes to an I. Pido, pides, pedimos, Sorry about that. Pido, pides, pide, pedimos, y piden. So, one of the things you can keep reminding yourself about is that the we, the nosotros form, is outside of the boot. So nosotros is always the form for stem changing verbs that doesn't change its stem. Adios.